Hello and welcome to another Final Cut 10 tutorial. In this one I'm going to show you how I edit my photos in Final Cut. Now, why would you edit your photos in Final Cut? You either don't have Lightroom, don't know how to use Lightroom or Photoshop, or you just prefer this method. This is the before and after. Now let's get into Final Cut and I'll show you how. Okay, so first thing, start a new project. And what you want to do is call it whatever you like and then make sure it's set to use automatic settings. Click OK. Then you want to import the photo. You'll then get this pop-up. It says that the resolution isn't the correct size. All you need to do is change it to custom and then Final Cut will automatically choose the correct resolution for the photo. So drop that in. The next tip is change it down to proxy. When you use proxy media, it will be easier to edit. Now, if it shows up as red and the clip can't be found, then all you need to do is right click on the clip and choose transcode media. Okay, now you've got it working in proxy. First thing I like to do is put some sharpening on, because I always shoot with lower sharpening in camera. The next thing I like to do is balance color. You can select that automatically and Final Cut usually does a pretty good job at selecting the right white balance for itself, but sometimes can get it wrong. If it does, you change it down from automatic to white balance. You just find a bit in the picture that you know to be true white and click on that, and then it will select the white balance based on that. The next thing I like to do is sort the exposure. Command and 6 brings up the inspector. You then play with the exposure to get it to where you're happy with. In this photo, I'm bringing the exposure up on the subjects, and what that's doing is blowing out the highlights on the clouds, but we can fix that later. What I next do is drop a LUT onto the footage. You can either install LUTs yourself or custom LUTs through the Final Cut plugins. I'm going to drop a LUT on. I'm just going to choose any LUT here. Let's go with this one. You can then change the strength to fit your liking. Okay, back into the inspector, Command 6, and you can mess with the saturation of the colors there, or you can change the temperature of the whole image, make it warmer, make it colder. I'm not going to do that for this. What I'm going to do is add another color board, click on Add Color Mask, and then when this pops up, you can choose certain colors or certain bits of the picture that you want to amend. So what I'm doing here then is clicking on the blue jacket. The more you swipe up, the more you swipe down, it will select a greater or a smaller area. And what I'm going to do is bump the saturation up just on that so that it stands out a bit more. I'm going to do the same thing again for the jeans here. Next, I'm going to add another color board, and this time I'm going to choose the shape mask. Now, make the shape mask the size that you want, and this is going to be bringing the exposure back down on the clouds. Make it the size that you need, change the feathering, drag it into the right place, and then from there you can select the exposure, and I'm going to drag down the midtones, and you can see it brings it back. I'm going to add another shape mask to cover the subject and try and raise the exposure on that just a little bit more. You can see there it's gone too far, so I have to bring it back down a bit. What I'm going to do next to create a better effect with the ice in the background here is sharpen and then put a mask on there. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste. I'm going to drag it underneath the first clip. Then I'm going to hit the sharpening on the second clip right up to about 50 or so. If I disable the first clip, you can see what it looks like. It looks like far too much. But what I'm going to do then is search for a draw mask or a shape mask, drop that onto the top clip and then invert it. So it just shows the sharpened lower image through the shape mask. Then I'm going to drag it down to cover the ice and then play with the feathering. I'm then going to do another shape mask, exactly the same thing, inverted for the other side. Change the shape, change the size, change the feathering. Now my laptop is really struggling here with trying to record the screen and edit this photo, so I'm going to cut this a bit short. Last thing I'm going to do is bump the saturation up across the whole image. Now if you want this to be a thumbnail, what I then do is drop a title onto it, call it whatever you want, choose the correct font, make the right size, change the color, etc, etc. Then all you do is go to share, and then save current frame. And if you don't have that, then you just need to scroll down to add destination and then select save current frame so that it's there. Oh, it will pop up and say that it's still in proxy mode if you're about to export and you haven't changed it back. Now, you don't want to export in proxy mode because it will be bad quality. So you will need to go back and change it to optimized, let it render, and then export. Choose the settings that you want, click next, and then that will export. There's your thumbnail. Now that's it for this. That's how I edit my photos in Final Cut. I do realise it's probably better and easier in Lightroom, but not everybody has that. I hope this has been helpful in some way, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.